get here. I'm going to press the accelerate button. We're going to see what our qualifying times are. Program's going to behave first time. That's rare.
Driver.
And, oh, it's Darrell Waltrip in the number 11. He's going to have the pole for the day. Jeff Bodine is going to be second. Neil Bonnet third.
Drivers,
Terry Labonte
to your
fourth.
cars.
Don't talk over me. Let's see here. I'll give about a minute. Because I know that most of you guys actually probably won't be familiar with what's going on here. Okay, so the number 11, he is going to be in the first position. Number 5, that's Jeff Bodine. He is in second. Points leader, Neil Bonnet, third. That's the number 12. Number 44, Terry Labonte. He's going to be in fourth. 15, Ricky Rudd in fifth. Cale Yarborough, 28. He is in sixth. Seventh, number 33, Harry Gant. Eighth, number 9, Bill Elliott. Ninth, number 22, Bobby Allison. That's actually his best qualifying position all year. And rounding out the top 10, another driver with a surprisingly poor season, Tim Richmond. He is going to be in 10th. Tim Richmond only has 2 top 10s and 1 top 5 to this point, and had no finishes inside the top 10 in the first 14 races. So a very slow start for him. Bill Elliott, surprisingly, 0 wins.
Drivers, start your engine!
Oh, dearie me. Anyways, Bill Elliott has, I'm gonna turn my, volume down here. Look, that's a bit loud. You don't want me yelling. Elliott has exactly 0 wins up until this point in the season, which should come as a bit of a surprise. Actually, everybody in the top 8 has a win except for Elliott and Yarborough. Yarborough best finish coming in second at Rockingham. I think Elliott's best finish this year thus far has been in third. This is going to be the second race this year. And we got a car in the apron. That is the 21 of David Pearson. Okay, here they go. Green flag is out, and we are coming to the line here from Michigan. Yep, the 21 car is stopped. We'll see if they bring out the yellow for that. Does not seem so. And, oh boy, it looks like the 11 and the 12, they're going to jump out to an early advantage. And here they go, coming down the very long back straightaway. This is a very long track, 2 miles in length. And Neil Bonnet's going to come around. He's probably going to lead the first lap of the race unless Gant has something to say about it. Is he going to drop down here in the tri-oval? He will, but he's going to try to block Allison all the way down to the bottom. They're going to go 3 wide into corner number 1. And we'll see what happens here. And it looks like most of the pack kind of settled down behind him, wanted to lay back just in case the 3 leaders wrecked. And Bobby Allison will be taking his first lead since Talladega. Since the first Talladega race, I should say. Not since Talladega, because there was a Talladega race last time we did this stream. Since the Winston 500, not the Tally 500. Anyways, the number 2, that is Rusty Wallace. He has been surprisingly non-existent. Ooh, we come to the line! Bobby Allison barely beat the 2 back. Oh boy. And whoa, Marlin making it 3 wide there, the number 95, that's Sterling Marlin. Making it 3 wide. Here comes Tommy Allison, the 18. And now, I don't think the driver of the number 3 really needs any introduction, whether if you know NASCAR or not. You probably know that that's Dale Earnhardt. And Earnhardt's going to take a rather commanding lead coming through 3 and 4 here. As you see, this pack is still very tightly wound. Earnhardt led that lap. Terry Labonte's going to jump down to the low side of the 95. Now, before the last two races, Terry Labonte was on fire. He had 3 straight top 2 finishes, including 2 wins in a row. And then he just wasn't there at Pocono, just wasn't there at Talladega. He's looking to have a very strong finish day, possibly sweep Michigan. Tommy Ellis in the 18 has not seen much time up at the front, but he recorded a top 10 last week at Talladega, and why not? Let's try to record a top 10 here at Michigan as well. He's currently down on the inside of Earnhardt. That's going to put him into the 2nd position, so maybe the 18 could get a good run there. Back there in the number 75 Pontiac, that's Lake Speed, as he continues to have what seems to be a turnaround season from last year. Last year he finished 31st in the points. 11 races he did not finish. Out of the 30 races that there was, he didn't finish 11 of them, and it really cost him in the standings. This year he's up in the top 12 in points consistently. Sometimes he's been as high as 8th, sometimes he's been as low as about 14th. But he's been generally inside the top 12. Speaking of drivers you usually don't see up here, 67 of Buddy Arrington. That would be the red and blue Ford Thunderbird that you see on the high lane. You don't see him up in front nearly that often. Now we've got a pretty strong tandem here. We got Harry Gant in the 33 and Tim Richmond in the 27. I'll tell you what. If Richmond in the 27 and Bill Elliott in the 9, they got together at Talladega, they were gone. Like, they pulled out to a full 2.5 seconds in front of the pack before the pack ended up going single file and running them down. They're going 3 wide for 2nd. Kelly Yarborough on the inside. Benny Parsons in the middle. Harry Gant all the way on top. Terry Labonte shoves his way down to the inside. Kyle Petty in the 7-11 car trying to get involved. Kelly Yarborough is going to take the lead now, but it looks like Terry Labonte has a really good run down low, and I think Labonte might have the car to beat today, as this is his 2nd time coming back up towards the front. Yep, it seems that number 44 car, he's high, wide, and awesome here. 8 laps into this race. We're doing pretty good here, folks. Certainly. Terry Labonte trying to hold off the 55 right now. Ricky Rudd, rather, looking down low on the 55. Can he get anything done? Oh boy. Rudd looking down low. And he is looking to lead in race number 17 on the year. He gets around Terry Labonte. How about this first streak? He has now led in 14 straight races here in 1985. What an unbelievable season Ricky Rudd has been having. I'll tell you what, that 15 car has been out in front every single race, as opposed to the 12 car. He only seems to be out in front the last 5 laps of the race. But hey, sometimes that's all that you need. Yup. That is actually all that you need. It only matters where your position is on the final lap of the race, obviously. Unless you're leading a lap, in which case you get 5 bonus points. Or if you lead the most laps, where you get another 5 bonus points. Those are very, very crucial. And Waltrip trying to lead his 3rd lap. I don't think that Richmond will be able to get him. He can't. And now here comes Neil Bonnet in the 12 as he wants to join in on the fun. Bonnet, Yarborough, Waltrip, 3 wide. Bonnet is down low. We'll give you a little flyby here. Boy, Lenny Pond is not doing well today. And there you go. Neil Bonnet's going to drive by the 27. And it seems like Neil Bonnet's going to drive his way to an easy lap lead. Seems that way. This pack is still tightly wound. We have completed 10 laps in this race. Neil Bonnet is your leader. Tim Richmond in second. Benny Parsons in the 55. He's going to try to challenge Tim Richmond here. Looks like it's going to be a successful challenge. It is. So we've got Parsons in the 55, and that is Mike Alexander in the 84. And boy, we haven't seen this driver near the front in quite a while. That's the 66 of Phil Parsons. Oh boy, yeah, Phil Parsons, he's actually had a pretty decent year. He had a best finish of second last year, and in his rookie year, finished second in Rookie of the Year to Rusty Wallace. And he's got a second place finish this year at Atlanta. That would be the only race that Bodine won, and actually that was the closest finish of the year, as Jeff Bodine won by, I think, 0.08 seconds. Yes. Mike Alexander trying to get to the inside of Neil Bonnet. Number 90, that is rookie Ken Schrader. Kyle Petty down there at the bottom. Ron Bouchard, and the 9 of Phil Elliott is down there. Looks like Joe Ruttman in the 4. That's Morgan McClure's car. Larry McClure, I'm sorry. The McClure brothers, let's just say that. Anyways, Mike Alexander seems to have a pretty good lead going on here. Usually you don't see those low market teams get too far out in front. Here comes the 7 of Kyle Petty with the legendary Wood Brothers. So weird seeing the Wood Brothers car and not seeing the number 21 on it. Just seems so weird to me. I don't know. Anyways, Elliott will now go into the second position. Joe Ruttman in third. Terry Labonte in fourth. And I think Rusty Wallace will be in there in fifth. He will be. And they're going 3 wide for second. So much for saying single file. Joe Ruttman will be in the middle there, in the 4. 44 all the way down low as Terry Labonte's going to find his way towards the front again before Elliott even has a chance to lead a lap. So how about that, folks? Now, I was about to say we're going to have a Pontiac Brigade on the bottom here with Lake Speed and Rusty Wallace. Wallace was unable to get down. Lake Speed was. He's going to have to push a Bodine here on the straightaway if he chooses to use it. Oops, coming to the line. Lake Speed barely got there. And now here comes Bodine. Buddy Arrington in the 67, he's back up here. Cale Yarbrough, he wants another shot at the lead. Here also comes, eventually, we've got Darrell Waltrip and I believe Bobby Allison. He's got a strong car today. No? Oh, the king, Richard Petty. Potentially he can get win number 199 today. Buddy Arrington is going to lead a lap here. I think that's going to mean that there's only 3 more drivers that need to lead a lap this season. I think that's Buddy Arrington's first lap left. Wow. And it's either that or there's 4 drivers that haven't gotten a top 10, and I think Buddy Arrington is one of them. Anyways, Waltrip is back to the lead. If he comes across the line as the leader, that'll be the 4th time today, but I think Allison's going to run him down. He indeed will. Allison returns to the lead here at this super speedway. See, not too much action going on here. And oh, here comes the 15. He's going to dive all the way down. Richard Petty trying to cut across the track. Ken Schrader is there. Rookie Schrader trying to get something done. Up towards the front, Bonnet is running back to the lead. Boy, it seems like this pack is staying together a lot longer than it did last race. Potentially a sense of urgency now coming in since we're winding down the championship. Only 11 races to go. So, hey, now's the time to step up your game. 5 drivers. You've got 4 drivers within 180 points of the leader. Those 4 drivers Those 4 drivers are Elliott, Bodine, Waltrip, and Gant. I'm not Elliott, Rudd rather. Rudd, Bodine, Waltrip, and Gant. So they're the big 5. Elliott is in 6th. Terry Labonte is 7th in points, and then it's a steep drop off to Kyle Petty, who's in 8th in points. Ricky Rudd going back to the lead. He's going to be pushed by quasi-teammate Ken Schrader. And Schrader pulls down. He's going to try to beat the 15 to the line. He can't do it. Only by a couple hundredths, too. He'll beat Schrader down. Schrader will beat Rudd down into the first corner. So Ken Schrader is to the lead here. To remind you, the last time that a rookie has won would be going back to 1979 when Dale Earnhardt picked up a win. I believe he picked up 2 wins that year. 22 of Allison is now coming off of corner number 4. He should lead this lap without any problems. Boy, there are 3 cars that seem very strong today. The 22, the 44, and the 11 are all very, very strong. The 11's has been a very solid car through most of the second third of this campaign. Of course, the next race will kick off the final third of the campaign. Oh wait, never mind. This race actually kicks off the final third of the campaign. Just a reminder, not the next race. Oh, we got a battle for the lead here. Not much of a battle because Gant just kind of flew around the 22 there. Not much for advertising, but not the next race, but the race after is going to be the Winston Million edition of the Southern 500. Ricky Rudd won the Winston 500 and the Coca-Cola 600. He received $100,000 in bonuses in the process. If he wins, I'll tell you what, if he wins at Darlington, he will receive a $1 million bonus. That is 2 races from now. That will probably be sometime next week, depending on how bored I am this week. Benny Parsons drops down. He'll stay in second. So Bonnet picks up another lap lead, and he's got to surely have the most laps led. I think he's got 5 at this point. I don't think anybody else has led more than 3. We're coming up on the slow car 21 of Pearson. Running into lap traffic is quite rare in this race. And I'm actually quite pleased that the pack is staying together for as long as it has, although it is starting to spread out fairly quickly now. 75 drops down on the 9. Will Lake Speed get the lap lead? I don't think so. No. And I mean barely no. I'm surprised that Wallace has put up a fight for as long as he has. He's doing a pretty good job up there with the 2 car. The 22 is still up here. The 90 is still up here. Hell, Sterling Marlin and the 95 is still up here. Marlin seems to come alive on the super speedways. Must be his forte. He must like the really big tracks. And, you know, you got some drivers that like the really big tracks, some drivers that like the really small tracks, and it seems like Sterling Marlin is definitely in favor of the larger circuits. Bonnet's pulling down on the 95. What will Rudd be doing here on the 11? You gotta be thinking here, he's going to... Oh no! The Junior Johnson cars are going to go 1-2 here, unless there's any opposition from Yarborough, and I highly doubt there will be. The 12 of Bonnet should go into the lead, taking the lead away from Darrell Waltrip. And Yarborough is going to prevent a 1-2 at the very least. Does he drop down, or is he going to try to block the 2? No, the 2's going to try to drop down on the 28. Yarborough's going to try to draft the 12 into the first corner, try to get any momentum possible. The 55's going to try to make it 3 wide. He backs off. Now here comes Wallace. Wallace is going to try to get around the 12. He will. Now Wallace is in the lead. Here comes the 55. That's Benny Parsons. He is in second now. Will he make a move on the 2 car? Probably will. And, oh, he's going to try to move down to block the 15 as well. He can't do it. Rudd is all the way down there. He's losing momentum fast. They're 3 wide. 3 rows deep going into corner number 1. We are now past halfway with the halfway lap lead given to Rusty Wallace in the number 2 Pontiac. That'll be an extra $2,500 bonus for leading the halfway lap. Rudd now cannot block Allison on the bottom. Here comes Bobby Allison. He's going to take the lead coming up off of corner number 4. This pack just seems tightly wound. It's doing really well. The 33 trying to find a way around the 22. He's underneath them. He's gotten there. He's going to get him. Around the 22 he shall go now. Now he's got to find a way around the 21. He will. You see, these lap cars are not necessarily that slow. JD McDuffie is the next car to be put a lap down. He's not that much further up there. In fact, they're probably going to end up lapping him. Yeah, the back few cars, Burchwall, Clark Dwyer, Dave Marcus, Craig Sachs, JD McDuffie are all very, very spread out. Terry Labonte navigating through a cluster here. He's going to take the lead. And rightfully so. Maybe the 44 can get back on track here after winning here at Michigan, which he's shown that he's got a good package for it. Probably would have won it both of Pocono races too, if it wasn't for a pitch strategy error at Pocono. Yep. The 15 of Rudd, he's going to slide underneath the 44. This will be his second lap lead of the race. Bodine is back up here. Looks like the 2 and the 75 are starting to fall off. Here comes the 11 down on the bottom. Dave Marcus is on the apron. Oh, he's not on the apron, rather. I don't know what all that was about, but he is not on the apron. Well, that'll clog down the low lane. And that'll give the 11 smooth sailing. As I'm not sure what's going on here, but they're going to go 4 wide. They need to be careful about doing that. This track has a very tight groove. You don't want to necessarily go 4 wide. This track can handle it, but it's still not recommended. Junior Johnson cars were 1-2 that lap. Waltrip now wants to lead an appreciable amount of laps. Dave Marcus gets himself back onto the lead lap after, I'm not sure what he just pulled. No, he just came out of pit road, so he's 2 laps down. Well, there's going to be a lap down now, but whatever. Benny Parsons is now passing the lapped car of David Pearson. And Marcus is going down pit road. So Dave Marcus returning to pit road. 20 laps to go here from the track. It is still Darrell Waltrip first, Neil Bonnet second. And Bonnet's going to slide right underneath the 11. He'll take the advantage. They're going 3 wide back there. Sorts back out to 2. Allison is looking strong today. Can anybody challenge the Junior Johnson guys? Allison's the first one to try it. He's going to try to pass both of them in corner number 3 and 4. He's going to dive down to the bottom of the tri-oval, getting pushed by the 44. Can he get the job done? Yes, I believe he did. He did not. No. Oh, man, it's so hard to tell from that angle. The last 10 laps, I'll go back to the flyby camera so we'll be able to tell any close finishes if they happen. It does seem like the 75 has fallen off anyways. And now here comes Terry Labonte. These two right here, the 22 and the 44, they're probably the two strongest cars on the track outside of the Junior Johnson machines. Sterling Marlin is not too far out of it here. He can rally back if he tries. Terry Labonte will lead that lap. Ricky Rudd will be content with second, I imagine. Marcus is on the apron. He's coming back out onto the track. And now Neil Bonnet, and boy, you know what? I keep on saying that the 44 and the 22 are the strongest cars, but I'll tell you what, these Junior Johnson cars have absolutely come alive in the second half of this race. And, you know, they're probably going to be the ones to beat as Dave Marcus returns to pit road. And I'm not sure what the struggles are for him, but they got to be numerous. Anyways, the 11 and the 12, they're back to 1-2. Now they're battling for the lead. Up ahead, that's the 10 of Greg Sachs. And now, oh, here comes the 55 of Benny Parsons. He got the pole last time we came here to Michigan, so you know he's got to have some sort of a fast car here. He's going to come to the line. He's going to lead a lap, but let's see how quickly he gets under fire by Bobby Allison here. Benny Parsons, Bobby Allison, two former champions. Allison, the more recent, winning it in '83. Allison's just going to slip on by. If I remember correctly, Benny Parsons won his championship in 1973 with only one victory. It was either Parsons or Baker. I can't remember which one it was. Hoping that was Parsons. Anyways, Ricky Rudd will now take the lead. David Pearson in the 21, he's one lap down, so the battle for second's actually there with the 44 and the 22. And Terry Labonte will get second on that lap. And, oh boy, Bonnet will not quit at all. There is no quit in that. There is no quit in that camp. Mercy. As Bonnet is going to move out in front of Rudd, and he's going to take the lead. And if I'm counting laps right, I'm pretty sure this 12 is going to lead the most laps. Shouldn't be a surprise. That 12 car, the 11 car as well, both of those Chevrolets have really come alive. Pearson's, not Pearson's, seems like Parsons' Chevy has also come alive here a little bit too. He seems to be sticking right on the points leader's tail. Tell you what, these fans usually cheer when a legend like Benny Parsons or Cale Yarborough does really well in the race. As the lap car number 10 of Greg Sachs, you can ignore him. The 28 diving all the way down to the bottom. He's going to get around the 12. And Cale Yarborough is going to lead a lap here from Michigan. Cale Yarborough is the only one outside of the top 6 in points that has over 100 laps led. Keep that in mind. He's been up front, but at the same time, he hasn't finished at the front. I do know, however, that 80 of these laps led came at Rockingham, so bear with them here. Yeah, 80 or so of those laps led did come at Rockingham. I can confirm that. Here we go. The 11's down there. 3 wide back there. Greg Sachs all the way on the top side. Wallace was in the middle. You had the 15 on the bottom. And Cale Yarborough is going to lead his second lap in a row. And the Junior Johnson cars are in poise to go 1-2 this lap again. And boy, the 11 and the 12 Chevrolets, they are the dominant cars. I want to see if anybody can beat these guys. I want to honestly see if anybody can beat these guys. I bet they can. I bet they can as well. Oh, here comes the 12. He's going to zoom past the 11. So Bonnet's going to prevent them from going 1-2 because now here comes Wallace. We're going to have 11 laps to go when we come to the line. 39 laps completed, and here's your standing so far. 12, Bonnet. The lead. Bonnet, second place, Wallace. Third place, Waltrip. Fourth place, Yarborough. Fifth place, Parsons. Benny. Sixth place is Bobby Allison. Seventh place, Terry Labonte. Eighth place, Rudd. Ninth place, Gant. 10th place, Tim Richmond, but Gant and Richmond are a little bit back here. They've been displaced from the main pack. The 21 is a lap down, so the 55 is going to be your leader when we come to the line. Have a couple of tobacco sponsors here. We've got Copenhagen and Chattanooga. I think they're both chewing tobaccos too. How about that? So 10 laps to go. As I said, we're going to go back to the flyby cameras. Ricky Rudd sliced down. I'm still surprised at the size of this lead pack. It's actually pretty significant. You can see the next size pack just coming out onto the straightaway now. Parsons, as long as he can keep the 15 blocked, he can't. So never mind. The Bud Moore Ford of 15 versus the Junior Johnson Chevrolet of the 11. And the Junior Johnson Chevy is going to drop down. Ricky Rudd's going to lead the lap. 9 to go here from Michigan. This looks like it's going to be an exciting finish nonetheless. This race should be over with in the next few minutes, so should stick around, should have a good time. The 11, 22. And whoa, the 22 is going to slingshot the 11. And wow, Waltrip's going to fall way back there. So Allison's back to the lead, and it wouldn't surprise me if this all of a sudden comes a battle between Allison, Waltrip, and wow, Bonnet. These guys all have very strong cars today. 22 is going to get a good run here off the corner. We'll see if he can potentially clear the 28. Not when the 12 was not cooperating with them. And there goes Cale. In fact, he's going to go for the lead as he wants to ditch his old team and try to win with his new team. He hasn't picked up a win since the end of the 1983 season. We'd like to pick up at least one win, I imagine. Cale trying to stay in front of the 11. That's his old ride. That's the ride he won 3 championships with. Darrell Waltrip, 82 and 83. He's already won 2 championships with Junior Johnson. He missed it in 84. He's looking to do it again in 1985. That's pretty much the case. And, you know, there's a pretty good shot of that. And now here comes the sophomore wonder here, Rusty Wallace. He's still up here, apparently. Wallace is going to drop down in the 11. Can he get anything done? No. That's a resounding no. And now Terry Labonte, he's going to make his first run up towards the front in quite a while. So we got a couple people here that are making a surprise run. Ricky Rudd has fallen out, so it's now only the top 7 cars here that are probably going to win this race. Draft is a bit important at this track. Terry Labonte's going to jump out to the lead here. He won the first Michigan race. He'd like to win the second one. 5 laps to go. What can anyone do? Obviously, the objective should be to make the 12 and the 11 finish as bad as possible. Rudd and Gant are not up here, and that should be of concern to both of them. But they do have a good position, so I wouldn't be complaining too much. Yep, Rudd, Gant, Bodine, Elliott, they're not up here. Bonnet, Waltrip are. Yarborough's going to come back to the lead. And, oh, Benny Parsons going to drop down to the inside. Running down to the line, no help, so the 22 is going to easily get to the line first. And now Yarborough is going to watch as everyone behind him is battling double file. But now here comes Parsons. He's going to suck right back to the 28 car. That might make him loose coming up off the corner. We'll find out. We'll see what kind of effect that had. You know, these guys make a simple mistake here. And oh! The 12 car just became really sneaky. Bonnet's to the lead. And Waltrip's going to take second. Oh boy, once again that these Junior Johnson cars, they seem to be doing, well, I shouldn't say seem to be, they are doing spectacularly today. Just massive amounts of credit to the Junior Johnson team. They've built 2 very dominating cars this season, and it doesn't look like that's going to change. Yep. First and second in the point standings. That might be the way it is. Terry Labonte, though, he's looking to gain some points, even though he's about 350 out, I think. Nah, he's like 350. Chump change. He's racing Waltrip right now. 2 laps to go. So now this is going to be the real make it or break it moment here. Who's going to be in control of the lead when we take the white flag? And every single time that we've gone to Michigan here since 1984, all 3 times, whoever took the white flag did not take the checkered flag. So, knowing that, do you think that Rusty Wallace is going to hold off on a move in this corner for a lap? The answer to that is yes, he will. So the 11 is going to lead the white flag lap. Waltrip's going to lead them down to the line. And Allison's going to jump down. He wants a win here. I don't know if jumping down is going to help him. The 21's just a thorn in the side. The 11 might break that streak. Oh, Allison's going to slip underneath them. Bobby Allison is now going to come up off the corner. They are dead even coming up off of turn number 2. Allison with a slight advantage. He's now got the full advantage going down the straightaway. He can let the 21 by. That's a lapped car. He will not. He's going to successfully defend the bottom. Bobby Allison. It took him 18 tries this year, but he is finally going to be a winner. Allison wins the Champion Spark Plugs 400 from Michigan. Bobby Allison hasn't won since the Firecracker 400 of last year. It's been over a year since we've seen Allison in victory lane, and he has returned here at Michigan. A great race, a great finish, if you ask me. Your final results, at least your top 10, is going to be Bobby Allison in first. How about this? Benny Parsons in second, Darrell Waltrip in third, Cale Yarborough in fourth, Rusty Wallace in fifth, Neil Bonnet sixth, Terry Labonte seventh, Harry Gant eighth, Tim Richmond ninth, and Ricky Rudd 10th. I don't think that there's a single name that I just listed that isn't a complete legend. Unbelievable. We're going to check out the point standings here, and it should be a bit close. And it is a little bit closer. Neil Bonnet is now still in the lead. Second place is Darrell Waltrip. Third place is still Harry Gant. Fourth place is still Ricky Rudd. Fifth place is still Jeff Bodine. Terry Labonte is going to gain some points. He's now only 340 back. Bobby Allison's going to increase his points to 16th. Cale Yarborough increased to 14th. Lenny Pond is going to fall from 10th to 13th. Benny Parsons is going to go up from 14th to 10th. And Richard Petty comes into the top 20 now. And boy, it just seems like quite the run here. Tim Richmond's going to record only his third top 10 of the year. He's only led 5 laps. Quite surprising, if you ask me. And that's pretty much it here. The next race is going to be Bristol, the Busch 500. Last time we went to Bristol, Harry Gant won, and upcoming rookie Alan Kowicki finished second. And actually, let me go through this. Your rookie of the year currently, Ken Schrader with 1 top 5 and 3 top 10s. He is 21st in the points. There's only 2 other rookies competing this year, and that is Alan Kowicki and Ernie Bershwell, 34th and 35th respectively. So they're way down here in the points. If we take a look here, there's still 4 drivers that have not picked up a top 10. Buddy Arrington did not get his first lap led of the year. Apparently he led 2 laps before that. I wonder where. Yeah, that's pretty much a conclusion area here. I get done by 4 o'clock like I wanted. Pretty smooth. Let's see here, is there anything else? Sure, we'll go through here. Most laps led, Harry Gant. Most wins, Harry Gant and Darrell Waltrip. Most top 5s, Gant. Top 10s, that's obviously going to go to Bonnet. Least DNFs, there's only 2 drivers that have not DNF'd this year, and that's Darrell Waltrip and Dale Earnhardt. And Dale Earnhardt's completed all but 2 laps. Waltrip's completed all but 3 laps. Obviously, Ricky Rudd's led in every race but 1. The only race that he didn't lead in was Rockingham. Only 2 drivers led in that race, and those were Darrell Waltrip and Cale Yarborough. But it should be noted that Rudd finished 3rd in that race. I pretty much don't have anything else to say. Most polls, I guess we'll do that too. That goes to Rudd. I guess we'll just see you next time at...
And that was Devon's coverage from the racing. The NASCAR stuff. I don't understand all that. Not so much. That's Devon's part. But here we are back at the studio, and we're about to see the continuation of the Hypo World Cup. Next up, it's Jabiru versus Killy, and I wonder if Craig's here, or David, to tell us how they think Killy will do.
Well, I'm here.
Craig. Now,
I think we'll clean the floor with them.